Hello everyone and welcome to game number 28 of Cheese League Baseball as we have the Steamrollers versus the Olympians. Today, the Steamrollers have Damian Hale on the hill and the Olympians have Ariela Fuentes here at the Tiger Den. And Banjo Crane steps in, hitter for the Steamrollers. Fuentes is a velocity, accuracy kind of pitcher. Four-seamer, slider, curve, and change. Lefty, tricky lefty. This counts 2-2 now. It's Crane. That's fouled away. Grounded. Ooh, hits off Fuentes. She recovers for out number one. Chuck Rockett, second baseman. Power hitting second baseman for the Steamrollers. Pops that one up, but foul. It's like a sea of blue out there tonight. The only difference is the Steamrollers fans are wearing a little bit of a lighter blue than the Olympian fans. That's hit well, but snagged there by Bernal for out number two. So Hudson Hopkins steps in, the DH for the Steamrollers. That's popped up. And it looks like Fuentes is going to take this herself, and she does, out number three. Rollers go down in order. The Olympians coming up to bat. Gertie Booper, the shortstop, steps in. 444, one homer, 6 RBIs this season. And 3-0. And looks at strike one. Steamrollers are 1-4 this year. The Olympians are 4-1. And Booper walks. So runner on now for Joy Trickster, who I believe has moved up in the order. And they throw over and almost got her. Trickster hits this one very well, very high, very far, and gone. Opposite field homer there. 394-foot shot for Trickster. Second homer, third RBI of the season, and the Olympians take a 2-0 lead. Ellie Mullins now steps in, looking for her first hit of the year. She's the second baseman for the Olympians, and the 1-2 count now. 2-2. Hale already looking tense after that. 2-run blast by Trickster. And out number one. Marty Hull, the catcher, steps in for the Olympians. Grounds it back to Hale for out number two. Bernal comes in now, the right fielder. Hitting 471, a homer and 3 ribbies, so having a good start to his season. For all intents and purposes, you know, Hale's pretty good too. 2.84 ERA, 1.89 WHIP. You know, Hale's pretty much the ace of the Steamroller staff. 2-2 now to Bernal, and they get him to strike out, swing under that one. So the Olympians strike first. We go to the top of the second. 4, 5, and 6 up. Annika Proctor, first baseman, steps in, hitting 400 so far. And swings through that one. And get her to chase, fouls it off. 0-2 now to Proctor. That one's popped up. That's a mile high. No issue there for Booper. Kurt Johnston, left fielder, steps in, 333, 2 ribbies. No homers yet this year. 2-1 now. 3-1 to Johnston. And strike two. So the full count now to Johnston. 1 out. And very inside, almost hit him. So runner on for Jericho, dozen rolls. Center fielder for the Steamrollers. crowd favorite for Rollers fans. Chugga chugga choo choo, Rollers fans. Good speed on the bases too for the Steamrollers. That one's hit well into the corner, and that one's off the wall. And they're able to double him up. Kind of had to wait to see if the right fielder Bernal was going to catch that or not. So missed opportunity here. Xerox Madden comes in. Runner goes and takes second base. So a runner of very good speed on second as Madden steps in. 2-1 now. And 2-2 to Madden. And that's flied out to Panada at first. So a little base running blunder there from the Steamrollers. They leave a runner on. Werner Fowl, the left fielder for the Olympians, comes in. Damian Hale's starting to settle in a little bit. That one's popped up, and it's going to get into the triangle out there. One of the many angles here. And Fowl strikes out. Many, many angles here. At the Tiger Den, Spencer Panada steps in, looking tense, hitting 250. Could be worse to start the season. Hale, 99 on the gun, and gets him to swing through that one. Damian Hale really, really settling in here, throwing some gas. Neil Shaw steps in now, center fielder. The 1-2 to Shaw, and popped up. That gets out of play. Try to get him to chase outside. The 2-2 now to Shaw. Grounded, foul. And Proctor's going to take that herself for out number 3. So the Olympians go down in order. Go to the top of the third. Alex Clark steps in 300. We see that one's fouled, and I think that's going to get over. Yes, that gets actually over into the Olympians' dugout. Panada takes that himself for out number 1. Peter Cabrera does not have a hit yet this year. And is this one going to sneak? No, it doesn't. Mullins takes it for out number 2. Thought that might sneak through the right side, give Cabrera's first hit of the year. Instead, Banjo Crane steps in, leadoff hitter, 0 for 1 today for the Steamrollers. You see Fuentes is locked in as she crosses now the 40 pitch mark. Grounded to Bowles at third for out number 3. So quick innings here as we go to the bottom of the third. And it is Bowles who leads it off here, the number 9 hitter and third baseman. Looking tense, hitting 067, so I would feel tense if I was hitting that low too. Getting paid big bucks here to play in the Cheese League. That one very inside. And Bowles grounds out to Madden. Gertie Booper comes in. She walked her first time up. Grounded to Clark. Throws across the diamond for out number 2. Joy Trickster steps in. Had that big 2-run homer opposite field shot in the first inning. That's how the Olympians have the 2-0 lead. 1-1 now to Trickster. That one's hit into left field as well. Stays in the park this time. Johnston fields it. So 2 outs, a runner on. Ellie Mullins still looking for her first hit of the year. She steps in. Throw over to first. Trickster dives in safe. That's ripped off off the glove of the diving Clark at third. Everyone is safe. So Marty Hull steps in with 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the third. A lot happens with 2, folks. 1-1 now. And the 2-1 to Hull. That's in the dirt. Good job blocking that behind the plate. And he's walked. So Hull walks. Bases are now juiced as Bernal steps in. He's 0 for 1 today. So RBI dud is activated, but you can see he does have 3 RBIs on the season so far. And that's grounded. Down the third base line into the corner. 1 run will score. The throw comes into second. He's in there with a 2 out, 2 RBI double for Bernal. Olympians take a 4-0 lead. As Werner Fowl comes in. 2 on. Still 2 out. And that's grounded to Clark. She'll throw across the diamond for out number 3. So Olympians get 2 more runs. They take the 4-0 lead as we go into the top of the 4th. And Chuck Roquette will lead it off for the Steamrollers. Nubbed foul. Strike on the outside corner. This camera angle actually looked a little too outside for my liking. The 3-2 now to Roquette. That one's hit very well. That is very gone. An absolute tank for Chuck Roquette. 472 feet. His first homer, first RBI of the year. And it's 4-1 now. Olympians still have the lead, but wow. I think that's actually the furthest home run hit in the Cheese League so far. As Hudson Hopkins steps in. He fouls one away. Strike 3, gets him looking. Annika Proctor, the first baseman, comes in. 0 for 1 today. I actually think Joy Trickster had the longest homer, as there's a ground out here to Mullins at second. I think Joy Trickster had the longest home run so far, but now Roquette takes that mantle. That one's fouled off. Pinata dives for no reason. The 0-2 now to Johnston. That one's hit, but Bernal's there to snag it for out number 3. So the Steamrollers get 1 on an absolute tank to center field, 472 feet. Spencer Pinata comes in 0 for 1 today. Yeah, that was a shot. When the fans bought tickets, they probably didn't think that they would get a home run ball out that far. That one's blooped, but Dozen Rolls is there. Neil Shaw comes in 0 for 1 today. Hale's velocity, junk, accuracy all down as he's hit the 67 pitch mark. That one's popped up to Crane for out number 2. Bowles comes in with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. And popped, and that drops in for a base hit. So Bowles gets a base hit. And that brings us to the top of the order, Gertie Booper. Pretty decent speed. Bowles on first. So 1 on, 2 out. Olympians fans did not like that call. The 3-1 now to Booper. Runner goes, and that's hit up the middle. Let's see, they don't send the runner to third. Wisely. So 2 on, 2 out for Trickster, who's 2 for 2 today with a 2-run homer. That's grounded to Roquette for out number 3. So the Olympians strand 2 as we head to the top of the 5th, as Jericho Dozen Rolls steps in. Looks at strike 1 from Fuentes. That's popped up. Let's see who takes that, and it's going to be Bowles at 3rd. Xerox Madden comes in 0 for 1 today. Contact for versus lefties is activated. Fuentes, 1.59 ERA, 0.88 whip, and 6 strikeouts. Those are season stats. That one's popped or looped into left field there for a hit. So runner on as Alex Clark steps in, the Steamrollers' 3rd baseman. The Rollers are not afraid to run. We've seen that throughout this young season so far. That's hit up the middle. Booper dives and snags it. He only plays the first for out number 2. Runner advances and is in scoring position now for Peter Cabrera, looking for his first hit of the season. That one's hit very well. Does that have the distance? It does not. It's off the big wall. Gets away from Bernal. 1 run scores. Cabrera's in there with an RBI double. So 4-2 now, Olympians. Banjo Crane steps in, the leadoff hitter for the Rollers. Hits that one very well. That's a no-doubter. Absolute tank. Holy cow. 464 shot from Banjo Crane. 2 out. 2-run homer. Banjo Crane, we're all tied up, folks, as Rocket steps in. And Fuentes is now looking tense. That ERA has jumped 2 whole points. That's grounded to Panada for the final out, but the damage is done as the Rollers get a big 3-run top of the 5th. Ellie Mullins comes in, got her first hit of the year. She's 1 for 2. Still content. Damian Hale still plugging away. 80 pitches now. That's hit the Madden for out number 1. Let's see how much longer Hale stays in the game. And they're actually pulling him. Brash Nixon's coming in. It's actually maybe our first look at Nixon from the Rollers bullpen. The strike to Marty Hull. That one's popped up. And yes, Cabrera's there to put it away. Bernal comes in, 1 for 2, a double today. And looks at 2 quick strikes. And ball. 1 and 2 now to Bernal. The 2-2. Grounded. Stopped there by Clark. Throw across the diamond for out number 3. What a play from Alex Clark. So we're all knotted up at 4 here as we go to the top of the 6th. And Hudson Hopkins, 0 for 2 today, steps in. You see Fuentes' stats all trending down, and I'll be surprised if she lasts much longer. Annika Proctor steps in, 0 for 2 as well. And here we are. We got Alberto Blaze coming in now out of the Olympians bullpen. All kind of fell apart there in the top of the 5th for Fuentes. 2-2 now to Proctor. That one's hit right to Mullins for out number 2. Kurt Johnston 0 for 1 today with a walk. Likes those high pitches. Blaze is a steady hand out of the Olympian bullpen so far this season. Try to get him a chase. The 1-2 now to Johnston. And that one's looped and drops in for a base hit. So the Rollers got a base runner as Jericho Dozen Roll steps in. Base runner, very good speed, I might add, on the base. Ooh, they brushed Dozen rolls back. It's fouled off. Blaze is a big dude. I didn't realize. He's a big guy out in the mound. Very intimidating force. And there's a reason his name is Blaze. That one's fouled away again. So 2-2 to dozen rolls. That's hit up the middle for a base hit. So 2 on now, 2 out. We've seen this play out so many times. 2 on, 2 out, Madden up. 1 for 2 today. Ooh. High breaking ball, strike. Gets him to chase outside quickly, 0-2. Inside, ball 1. And ball 2 now to Madden. Full count to Madden. Runners go. It's grounded to Booper. Throw across the diamond for out number 3. So the Rollers strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Werner foul. The number 6 hitter and left fielder up for the Olympians. Nixon still plugging away on the hill for the Rollers. The 1-1 and the 1-2 now to foul. And he strikes him out. Werner foul. Strikes out. Spencer Panada comes in. And that's grounded right to Proctor. She'll throw over to Nixon for out number 2. Neil Shaw 0 for 2 today. Looks at strike 1 from Nixon. And base hit up the middle. So Shaw's on with the 2-out single. That brings up Liam Bowles. 1 for 2 today with the single, and we're going to have a pinch hitter come in. Marlee Zuniga. They throw over, dives in safe. Zuniga's first at-bat of the season. She hits that one, but right at dozen rolls for out number 3. 8-9-1 now, coming up for the Rollers in the top of the 7th. Chuck Evans takes over at first base. Or at third base, I apologize. Some defensive replacements here for the Olympians. The 1-2 now to Clark. And that's popped. Mullen grabs that for out number 1. Peter Cabrera steps in, 1 for 2. And actually, we're going to have pinch hitter. So Tristan Rios steps in. Imagine Rios will step behind the plate for Cabrera, 2. 2-1 now to Rios. And the 2-2 from Blaze, who's looking locked in. Full count now. And walks him. Say he's looking locked in, and then he walks him. Banjo Crane, 1 for 3. Huge home run last time up. Mitchell Bree, the closer, comes in. Obviously not in a save opportunity, but the bullpens are pretty stretched here in the early part of the season. 1 out, 1 runner on. Runner goes, too. Fouled off. It's grounded to Mullins. Let's see if they get 2. To Booper. To Panada for a double play. Ends the inning. So the Olympians have the top of the order coming up. In the bottom of the 7th, they could seal the deal here. Let's see what happens. Booper comes in. She's 1 for 2. Kai Best now behind the plate for the Rollers. That one is hit very well and very far and gone into the upper deck. Walk-off home run. Gertie Booper. Olympians win. 418-foot shot into the upper deck and right field. Her second homer, 7th RBI of the season, and just like that, Olympians win in dramatic fashion. Wow, that's a way to end the ball game. 4-6-0 for the Steamrollers. 5-8-0 for the Olympians. It really is anybody's game. We've seen that time and time again here in Cheese League Baseball. There you see some of the highlights from the players. On the roller side, Crane and Rocket, big home runs, very, very big home runs, absolute bombs. Rocket especially, 472-foot shot, I think. The real difference here is Booper's home run, but yeah, see lots of offense this game. Kind of thought it might be a pitcher's duel, but Bree gets the win for the Olympians. Nixon gets the loss for the Steamrollers. Let's take a look at our top 3 players. Joy Trickster, 2 for 3, a home run, 2 RBIs, 2 runs. Booper there gets the shout out, 2 for 3. Obviously the game-winning home run, RBI and 2 runs. And Banjo Crane gets the nod too, 1 for 4, homer, 2 ribbies, a run, big 2-run homer, 462-foot shot, I believe it was, to center field. That's how it plays out, folks. What a dramatic end to game number 28 here in the Cheese League. Olympians win. Have a good one. Bye.